Something that doesn't happen in America that's wrong here is we are scared to fail.
Was this a passion from beginning? Where did you start thinking about, I need to learn about money?
So if you are rare, you are already valuable. That means that the jacket that you buy for £1,000 or £2,000 doesn't make you more valuable. You make it valuable because you own it.
The good thing with me was I'd done a lot of self-development work in prison. So when I did come out, I just understood the new economy, how it works. You have to network. You have to have good relationships.
You know what it is that I tell young people all the time.
Yeah.
When it's time to find out about porn, no one needed to teach you about deep throat and big bums and all of the. No one needed to teach you that.
Facts.
You found out, you was hungry to learn about it. You thought, what material can I use? And you went and found it. And then you spent time learning, oh, I don't like that, oh, I like this, or do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The information to change your life and get better with your finances is available to you the same way.
See, one of the biggest things that people don't do is think. You have to take ownership of your life. And if you're not obsessed, you need to change your program. Welcome back to my channel where we discuss property, business, lifestyle and well-being. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, then please hit the like and subscribe button. Today's guest, we have Emmanuel Asuko. This guy has come all the way from London. He's a legend. He's just released a book called Get Your Money Right. He's recently become an author. He's also a financial expert, and he's also opened a financial education company where he helps people like me and you learn about basic money, financial literacy, and let's just be honest, we don't get taught all this at school. I'm really looking forward to speaking with him today and seeing what gems he has to offer. So get your money right, understand your money, and make it work for you right. Emmanuel Asuko, financial expert on Channel 4. Bro, how old are you?
37.
Oh, you're 37? You look really young. I was going to say 27.
Everyone says that, yeah.
How long did it take you to write this book?
Started in March, finished it in September.
Started in March and finished in September. Did you write it yourself?
No, I voiced it. I had someone that wrote.
So I'm right now writing a book, okay, but I haven't got time to literally sit down and write it.
Neither why.
Right? But what I do is, I said to somebody, I said, it's all in there. You just put it on paper. Now, they've suggested two ways to, they said, when we need to have a deep chat, we'll meet up face to face. So I'm using your words the way you speak every day. Or the second thing is, it said voice note stuff to me. So
what I did a Zoom for each chapter. So we zoomed the chapter, I told them what I want in each chapter, what information.
Yeah.
And then I did a story every chapter, and I just voice noted the story.
Got it. And they put it in.
And they just put it in.
Well, for us, this is how we just roll. So do you want to introduce yourself and just tell everybody about yourself in 2 minutes? Like, who you are, what you do. Bro, it's relaxed, it's chilled.
Wow. Biscuits are great.
You like them, yeah?
Emmanuel Asuko, I'm a financial advisor.
Okay.
But I'd say my biggest achievement is being a father, like husband, father of 4 children. And that's what I take most pride in, is being an example to them. Grew up in a council estate in East London, and always used to look at, Canary Wharf and so forth, and I just used finance and money and then added my personality to it. Because you can get into an environment, it's like, I don't feel like I belong. Like, so I just do finance and money in my own way, do it on social media, do it on the TV, and just enjoy it, just enjoy what I do.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit. How did you let's just be honest, right? I mean, they don't really teach money and financial literacy, basic things in school, right? So was this a passion from beginning? Like, where did you start thinking about, I need to learn about money?
Yeah, funny enough, so basically I always tell people the story of the fact that if I left the light on in the kitchen and I walked out the kitchen, I used to get in big trouble in my house.
Yeah.
Like, my mum would go crazy. Because when you haven't got much money,
the
light being on is a sign that money's being wasted. And when money's tight, it's a lot. So then I used to look out of my window, and where I lived in Limehouse is right next to Canary Wharf. And I could see all the buildings in Canary Wharf late at night, all the lights are on, everyone's gone home. And in my mind, it was like, they must have money.
Yeah.
Because how can they afford to leave the lights on? I'm getting in trouble for leaving one bulb.
Interesting observation, right?
You understand? When you're a kid, like, but that's how I understood it.
Yeah.
And so all these companies were Barclays, HSBC, all these finance companies were there. So I was like, I got to get over to that building. And I could always just see the Barclays building, and I was just like, I want to get into that building.
Yeah.
And so that's what sparked my interest in getting into finance.
It just seemed rich to you. It just seemed like good. Like, that's where I need to be, not here.
Yeah, I can change my situation just by getting over there.
Yeah.
So that was the inspiration. And so because of that, I got a job as Marks and Spencer's in Canary Wharf, 5 a.m. in the morning, going in there. Because sometimes it's about the grind, bro. Like, people feel like, it's like, it just magically, you just worked really. No, I had to really graft, you know what I mean?
How old were you, though, at this point, when you were working Marks?
When I was at Marks and Spencer's 18.
Okay.
So I was 18, worked at Marks and Spencer's 18 while I was at uni doing my degree, accounting and finance.
Yeah.
And then after 1 year, got used 1 year experience at Marks and Spencer's to get a job as a cashier at Barclays. And I became a cashier at Barclays at 19 while I was still doing my degree. And then I just grafted. When I got into Barclays, I'm like, I'm here. This is the building I was saying. I've worked for the company now.
And now you're here.
I'm here.
So you kind of already reached your first goal.
I've already reached it.
Yep.
And when the power is knowing that you can think something, see something, and make it happen.
Yeah.
When you realize that you can actually do that in real life, I know I'm a man. I believe in God and so forth, and God orders your steps and so forth. But the fact that you can manifest stuff, like, it's real. Do you know what I mean? You can say, this is where I want to be, and if you want it enough, desire it, you can get there. And when I realized that, it was like, there's no limits. It doesn't matter that I come from a council estate. It doesn't matter that I ain't got no uncle or brother or someone in a position to give me a hand. If I want it, I can go and get it.
Yes, that's powerful, man. So for those that don't know, in your words, as someone who's an expert, what is money? How would you describe money?
You know what? It's funny. So money, for me, money is a product of value. Yeah? Okay. So for me, someone provides you with value, and you're willing to participate, give them your money in order to get the value of whatever that thing is.
Okay.
And so for me, I see money as something used to pay for value.
Yes.
Now, value is relative to the person. So some people get value from buying books. Other people may get value from going on holidays. Like, it's relative.
Yeah.
But money is a tool that allows you to participate in the things that you value.
Yes.
And so what happens is that one of the big problems is that we value things that we can't afford. We value things so now all of a sudden we value things that our pockets can't afford. And what happens is, to bridge the gap, we take out more money in terms of debt. And so what happens is people get capped in that cycle of taking other people's money and using it to buy what I call liabilities. So you can go on holiday, and you could go on holiday, and for your mental health, a holiday can actually be an asset, because you can get away, you can think, and you can do it and give yourself time to now come back with better ideas, plans, take time away in order to come back a better version of yourself and go and move forward.
Give you a reset.
Give you a reset. Or also just give you a break because you've been working hard. But you don't have to do that first class. You don't have to go to Dubai or the Maldives or whatever. You don't have to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can do it within your pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, and what happens is that we've watched social media, and social media have told us, if you're not here, or if you don't go there, or if you don't own this, you're not doing it right. So,
don't worry about that.
Yeah, so it says you're not doing it right. And so because of that, what happens is that people end up spending more than they have got coming in, and get into a cycle of debt. And so for me, when I use other people's money, credit card, loan, whatever, it's to make me money. Or to save me money. So that's the only 2 times I use other people's money. If not, I'm using my own. Because if I'm going to buy a pair of trainers and it's not for resale value, it's not an investment, then that should come from my money. That shouldn't come. I shouldn't do that on a loan or on an overdraft. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So money is just a tool to access value.
But what would you say to someone who's come out of college and uni and they just don't know? Is it they just have to make them mistakes to know? Or would you say that get around someone like you or take up someone's services from yourself and just learn these things?
Yeah, I always say this. I don't know. It says uncensored, right? So I can say whatever I like.
You
right?
can say whatever you want.
All
Here,
right,
bro.
cool. I just want to make sure, but I always say,
I want to make sure.
no, I just want to
Say
make sure.
whatever, bro.
No, because you know what it is that I tell young people all the time.
Yeah.
When it's time to find out, about porn, no one needed to teach you about deep throat and big bums and all of the. No one needed to teach you that. You didn't have to go to school for someone to learn you. To teach you that. You understand?
Facts.
You found out, you was hungry to learn about it, get me, you wanted to bash, and now you thought, what material can I use? And you went and found it, and then you spent time learning, oh, I don't like that, or I like this, or do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's it. The information to change your life and get better with your finances is available to you the same way.
Yeah.
But you ain't trying to spend time on that.
You just don't want it enough.
You don't want it. Because at the end of the day, look how many YouTube channels there are, Instagram. There's so much content. There's so much information, blogs, audio books. There's information for free. But the thing is that, like you said, how many people are trying to get around it? How many people are trying to surround themselves? If I know there are 3 things, I always tell people, these 3 things, and I always tell young people, you can make money through property, you can make money through a business, and you can make money through investing in stocks, pensions, ISAs, whatever. Those are 3 main ways to build wealth. If I know there are 3 main ways to build wealth, all I've got to do is pick one and get started in one. And then once I build one, I can then start to invest in the next, build the next, invest in the next. So if it's property, which is big in the UK, everyone needs a house. This is what it's about. I pitched my business in financial services. Guess what? When we're going through a cost of living crisis, they need help. People need help with their money. When the economy was booming, guess what? People need help with their money. It doesn't matter either way. I'm always in demand. Do you understand? If you know people always need places to live and people are always being born every day in the hospital. So every day people there's a demand and we know that it's needed. Property is a great way to get started. And we know that you're going to need that. Okay, maybe say it's too much. It's too much up forward. I need to put too much deposit or whatever. So I'm not going to avoid that. Okay, then what about a business? You don't need big capital to start a business. Zoom is free if there's only 2 people on it. So
especially in this economy, right?
If
we're living in that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You set up something on social media. You offer consultations over Zoom. As long as there's only 2 of you on there, that's free. You have no cost. And guess what I tell a young person? Guess what? You're not paying rent. You're not paying mortgage. You're not even buying groceries. So what better time to start a business or go and learn something or go and try something new when you're in your parents' house is the best time ever.
Yeah.
Fail. Something that's wrong in this country that doesn't happen in America, that's wrong here, is we are scared to fail. But let's look at Alan Sugar. He's had companies go bankrupt. Richard Branson, he's got an island. You know how many companies, when was the last time you saw Virgin Cola? It doesn't exist no more.
Yeah.
But he's not embarrassed. He's not hiding in shame because one of his companies, he just think of a new idea, create value, here's a new business. And that's what we've got to understand, that guess what, when you're young, it's the best time. Because if your business collapsed, no one's coming to claim your house because you don't own one. No one's coming to take your bank account. Your mum still gives you money. What have you got to lose? Yeah. Now's the time.
Bro, you're getting me off track. Dropping some gems there, bro. Okay, you know what? Talking about your book.
Yeah.
I want to know the reason for you to write this book. Yeah. What was the reason for it?
The honest truth is, I didn't want to write the book. Because this is uncensored. I'm telling you, I didn't want to write the book.
Okay.
Why? Because I'm more of a talker than I'm a writer. Yeah. And I had a fear of my writing. I'm the type of person, for me to send an email, I've got to read that email 50 times. Sometimes I've got to read it out loud. Because my eyes will see a word that's not there. And then my wife will come and be like, you meant to put this here or you've missed it. So I've always got to get someone to check or whatever. It's not something. So I'm not comfortable writing. So the thought of writing a book, the knowledge is in the head, but the thought of writing a book. But then I realized that, right, you know what? Number one, where is a book written in plain English in a way for people from the culture? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a book from the culture where it's like, actually we're talking how we're talking right now about money, about finance, about wealth in plain English, as simple, basic ABC as you can understand. Yeah. And I was like, I need to do this because all this traction I get on social media, the way people enjoy the content on social media, they need it in a book form. Because as you get bigger, you have less time for the one-to-ones and the individuals. That's why I come and do podcasts and come and do stuff so that people can take in the information. And so for me, it was about writing a book and writing down all this knowledge, 15 years. It's something about experience. I always tell people, like, you can qualify as a financial advisor, but it's going to take time for you to spend time with clients. You might be great at property. You might have bought one house, but it takes time to really understand property, the ins and outs and all that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Of course it does, yeah.
Like, there's something about experience.
Of course it is, yeah.
And I've had 15 years of experience as a financial advisor. It's the only job I've had since I left uni. And so for me, it's like, let me put in all the things I've learned from my own experience, from experience of clients, people that other people wouldn't get to be in a room. I've learned from them. Let me put in this book to empower people so they know that when it comes to making financial decisions, they've got a book that they can use as a guide.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let me just say something about the book. As soon as I got this book, as soon as you look, very easy and simple to read.
Yeah.
As soon as you open the first pages, the first few pages here, you know, where you've got the chapters.
Yeah.
Again, really, really simple.
Yeah.
The UK financial system, money mindset, working a 9 to 5, savings, borrowing, it's just simple.
Yeah.
So it's not like nobody can miss anything and it's complicated words. It's really, and it's a very small book as well.
Yes.
Like, what is it, like just around 200 pages?
Yes, exactly.
That's not a lot.
No, it wasn't to confuse people. It wasn't. I stripped out. There was so much information. Like, let's take that out. Let's not even give that, because we can always do another book. Let people get this, get their feet wet, get the understanding, get the basic knowledge.
Yeah.
And then from there we can go into more technical stuff later on. But this was about giving people a guide, giving people a start. There's so much information on the internet. Who can you trust? Here's a financial advisor who's been doing this for 15 years. You can trust me. And then use this, and then if you need further information, you can Google it, but Google it knowing that you've got at least a basic understanding of what you're looking at.
100%. And because it's 200 pages, I always say, look, if you read 10 pages a day, in 20 pages, you've kind of read the book.
You've read the book, yeah.
So within 20 days, right?
20 days, it's done.
It's
not even a month.
That's if someone reads 10 pages, right?
10
and
pages.
they're only small pages, so...
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Okay, so... one more question on this. So you've already actually answered this. So how much self-development work have you done on yourself, and when did you start doing it?
I've done so much self-development, and I've been doing it since I was young.
Okay.
Since I was in school, I did a post today, literally on LinkedIn, talking about my PE teacher at secondary school and how he helped me just with my mindset and helped me just focus and develop and grow. Like, I'm always someone that's understood the power of learning from people that have gone before you. I think sometimes, especially when you're young, you've got so much energy and you've got this great idea, you think you're the first person to ever have a good idea in life. Do you know what I mean? But the reality is that someone's gone before you.
Yeah.
And if you can tap into what their knowledge and what they've done, your steps are gonna be a lot easier, because you're gonna be able to avoid the mistakes that they made. So I've been doing courses, like even now I talk. So I used to have a bit of a lisp when I was younger, so I didn't speak as clearly, and even had a bit of a stutter. So I joined drama group. I put myself out there and started to do drama just so I could build my confidence. Do you know what I mean? So I've always worked on trying to be able to develop. I've watched so many motivational talks. I've gone to so many events. I've sat in audiences being like, you know what, I'm going to be up there one day. I'm going to be on the stage. Like, you got to know where you're trying to get to.
Yes.
And then put yourself in those environments. So I've watched stuff. I've gone to other countries to hear stuff. I've paid for development calls. I've paid to be in the room. I've taken whoever I could to lunch or whatever to get whatever piece of knowledge, just the little nuggets I can get. And I've just learned along the way. And then I've seen people that are successful and just put myself around them. I think sometimes, the youngers will be like, you don't want to be a beg friend. Let me tell you something. I will beg friend all day long. If it gets me in the right rooms, why wouldn't I beg friend? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Some of you, even your friends that you got, they're useless to you.
People that say that, they don't understand the power of networking.
Networking. But when I go to a networking event, I will know who's going to be in that room. I'm like, yeah, I'm there. You don't need to convince me. I don't care what the price is, because people will be like, oh, it's £200 or it's £500. Bruv, the types of deals that I make, £500 is nothing.
Yes.
If I can get that person to do what I need them to do, I'm making thousands annually. Do you see what I'm saying? So why would I be bothered by a ticket? I've got to be in the room. Because sometimes it's not even that person. Sometimes it's that person is going to connect you to that person that connects you to that person. And actually, having a network, I always tell people, like, especially when you come from council estate or you come from poverty, like, you know, you might not have come from wealth, but a wealthy person can come from you. Do you know what I mean?
I like
and
that one.
and for me, the two ways that you can guarantee wealth, you're having a network and life insurance. If you can have a good network, that network you can leave to your children. And if you have life insurance, on your death, you can guarantee you're leaving some money to your children. To me, those are at the basic level. That is the basic that you can do. So when I see your parents are like, oh, you know, I'm struggling to that, I'm like, but what, are you building a network though? Because that don't cost you thousands. Are you going around meeting people, connecting with people, so that when your child says, I want to work in HR, you know somebody that works in HR. When your child says, I'd like to get some experience in IT, you know someone. Or I want to do coding, you know someone. That's the type of network that you want to build, because that's what these lot do. These really rich, all that they do is network with each other, ha, ha, ha. When it's time, yeah, I know I can get money from that person, or I know I can get investment over there, or I know we can collaborate on that. Oh, this person owns this firm, we can get a discount. That's network, and that's what we need to be growing.
Relationships, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, love that. You're dropping some gems today, bro.
We're trying now, and even like us, look at us. We met, and
literally 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, but, and that's what people will say. Is there'll be people that would have known me for time, and they would message me and be like, "Oh, come on," and I'm like, "I'm busy." Yeah, we met 3 weeks ago. Let me tell you something. One thing is it's about your approach. So number one, it's about your approach. So you approach me in a nice way, but when I clicked on your page page spoke for yourself. There are bare people. Oh, come on my podcast, bro. I'll go on your page, bruv. I can't associate with this. Do you know what I mean? You're not putting the time and energy into your social media. You're not putting the time and energy into the quality of what you're doing. I went on your page. I saw your page. I saw that you're posting content regularly. I saw your following. I saw that the quality of the work that you produce. Because at the end of the day, if we do this podcast, I could get 3 or 4 clips of the podcast. If it's quality, I can post it myself. I'll get benefit from my own audience anyway by doing it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So there's quality. Then we went to an event. I was a host at an event, and you came to the event.
Yes.
Bruv, you're in Manchester, the event's in London. You've come all the way from Manchester to London, come to the event and be like, yo, E-man, remember me? It's Ibs, when you're on my podcast. Bruv, I said, send my team the email, I'm coming to your... because actually, there's bare people that will message you online, but that's easy. You're in the comfort of your house. Anyone can send a message, oh, I'd like... But when you take time to get out of your house and come to somewhere where you know somebody's going to be, and obviously you were meeting other people in the room, I wasn't the only person in the room, but you taking the time to do that, a lot of people were in London and wouldn't take the time to do that. Do you know what I mean? Let alone to come from Manchester. So that for me, that goes to your character. That goes to the type of person that you are. And that's the type of people that I want to associate with.
Definitely. 100%, totally agree.
Have you always been like that though?
In the last 5 years.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time in prison.
Yeah.
So I had to come out. The good thing with me was I'd done a lot of self-development work in prison.
Amazing.
So when I did come out, it was just I just understood the new economy, how it works. Amazing. You have to network. You have to have good relationships, because if you don't, if you can't sit in your house and then we're living in a different era now, right?
Yeah. I love that. You know what? Even you talking about prison, I love that, because you know what? Sometimes people think they go to prison, that's the end of them. Yeah. But to be honest, for a lot of people I know, it was the making of them. Sometimes you got to go through things in life that help you appreciate.
Definitely.
Do you understand? Because even when I see these young kids, a lot of the time, you don't appreciate school until you get kicked out, and then you're like, I wish I was with my friends. Do you know what I mean? When you go to them mad schools, with all the people that have been kicked out, and you realise, there's some really rough guys out here. I was bad in my school, but these men are, do you know what I mean? And it's okay, cool. When I get back, I'm going to just, and we need things in life, you're never finished. You are the writer of your story. Yes. Do you know what I mean? And so you go through things, and sometimes you have to go through them in order for you to appreciate the blessings that are coming your way.
Love it, yeah. And I always say to people, I needed it. Yeah. It's not that, I feel I needed it, bro.
Come on.
So, yeah, and that was the making of me. So,
that's big. That's
big. How do you make money?
Yeah.
What do you do to make money?
Yeah, so I make money in different ways. So, I guess from the social media, I get brands that pay me to that pay me to post for them and do campaigns and ads for them. I get paid through the television, so I do shows for TV companies and so forth, and I get paid through that.
Yeah.
I do one-to-ones for people through my financial education company, so the E-Man Effect. I get paid through that. I also have a financial advice company, so I do financial advice. I get paid through that.
So break that down a little bit. What do you mean, like, when you mean financial advice? So if somebody who's brand new wants to improve their credit score or improve anything like that, they come to you.
But that's my financial education company.
Got it.
So what happens is in the UK, financial advice is quite. You need to have a certain amount of money to get financial advice.
Okay.
So I wanted to try and break that down. So what I created was a financial education company. Even though I'm a financial advisor and I can give that, I still wanted to work with people that weren't ready for financial advice.
Yeah.
So I teach people and train them on how to better their credit score, how to get on the property ladder, how to save a deposit, how to budget, all of the basics that you need in my financial education company. So we do a one-to-one consultation. I help people sort all of that out, and then when they're ready, I'll help them get a mortgage, or I'll set up their pension, ISAs, whatever it may be, through my financial advice company. So I've got the two there. Then obviously I've got the book, and then I do talks, so I get paid to do talks. So I'm a public speaker, so I get paid to do talks and shows and all that type of stuff. So loads of different ways to get paid.
Nice. Have you thought about doing public speaking in America?
Yes,
because I hear you get paid more there.
Yeah, much more. So for me, that's why I need to build the brand here in the UK to have a big enough brand, and then my plan is to go to Africa and America.
They love you in America.
Oh yeah,
because you're unique.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really, really good. Okay, so you've told me how you make your money. How do you invest your money?
Yeah, so different ways. So at different stages in life. So obviously, being a financial advisor, I used to mainly invest my money in ISAs, pensions, like stocks, all of that type of stuff. That was the main thing that I knew. Then obviously, as I started to work with business people and work with like high net worth people, then I saw the real advantages of property. So I've got property, and then I still source deals and so forth. So luckily doing what I do, I get clients that are like, oh, I want to sell a house. Then I've got clients I want to buy a house, and I just pair them up and get paid off that. So I do a lot of that type of thing, and I've got investors and people that want to spend money. So I do a bit of that stuff as well.
So you do property stuff as well?
Yeah, property stuff as well.
That's interesting. I'm doing my first webinar next week.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to try and jump on that out. I mean, see what you're doing. Yeah, so I do a bit of property stuff now, and then now we're building it up. And then
deal sourcing, yeah.
Deal sourcing, yeah, more deal sourcing.
This year and next year is really, really good to do.
Yeah,
is deal sourcing good anytime?
Anytime,
but it's going to be really good in the next year or two.
So I get like a footballer, or I get like a football agent. I'll be like, I've got a client, they want to buy a house, get the parameters, and then help them find it.
Do you invest in anything else as well? Like for your own self?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done anything for yourself, like a BRR strategy or anything? Or?
Yeah, so I've invested in like courses and stuff like that, training and development. But my main investment is my business.
Okay.
So that's my main thing. So for me,
to produce more income.
Exactly. So for me, I'm growing these businesses here, and the plan is with the businesses that I'm trying to grow. The plan is in 5, 10, 15 years, sell them, and I'm done.
So you've already got an exit plan?
That's the exit plan. Yeah, I already got an exit plan. So all this TV, all of this stuff, people think, oh, it's all part of the branding. It's all part of getting the businesses to be national, so that people see it, people want to use it, people buy into the brand.
Yeah.
And then the plan is that a bigger company comes and says, look, you're doing so well, we want to swallow you up. And I'm like, yep, go ahead, buy the business, give me
$1 billion quid.
Yeah, give me the money.
That's normal now these days.
That's normal.
500 million, $1 billion, right?
Yeah. So that's the plan. So for me, that strategy for where I'm at is going to make me more than focusing just on property or just on stocks and so forth. So I've definitely calmed down on the stocks. I don't even really look at it no more, just the standard stuff. The property stuff I'm doing more and more.
You're interested in that?
I like it a lot more now.
Got it.
Because I get it a lot more now that I've been exposed.
But if you ever need more help with that,
I'll
let
definitely.
me know.
I will do, because especially when you make a bit more money, it's like, oh, you don't want it sitting there doing nothing. So like property is a good one, and then but my business is the main investment.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on ISA savings and that sort of thing? Like, is that a good thing to go down?
I think ISAs are good, but it all depends on what your goal is. I think you have to see these things as their solutions, right?
Right.
So almost see them like like if you went to the doctors, there's different tablets that you can take from different medicine available, right?
Yeah.
And ISA is just a tablet. Do you know what I mean? It cures or it heals a certain thing, but it doesn't mean that that is the best or the only thing that you can take to solve your problem. It all depends on where you're at and what you're trying to achieve. So for me, an ISA is good. You know, it's tax efficient. It's good for compound interest. It's good for long-term investments. It's low barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Some of these ISAs is like £1, £10. You can start putting it in. Any growth is tax-free. So there are loads of pluses to it. But at the same time, it depends on what you're going to use it for and what your plan is. Because at the end of the day, for a lot of my clients, if they're using an ISA, you know, they might be using an ISA for the lifetime ISA so they can buy a property. Do you know what I mean? Or they might be using an ISA to supplement their pension. So they've got their pension, but obviously your pension, you can't touch that to a certain age. So what you might do is say, let me have some ISA so that if I decide I don't want to wait till 57, I want to retire at 50, I can live off my ISA and then I don't have to touch the pension until, you know, the time and so forth. It's all about the strategy. Do you know what I mean? That you're trying to achieve.
100%. It's the same thing I say to property when people usually come in at the start that want to get into properties. Oh, we want to do BRRs. We want to do this. What's your plan?
Exactly.
How much money have you got?
Exactly.
Let's sit down, map your plan first.
Exactly.
And it might be that you might not need ISA.
Exactly.
So yeah. So it's all individual based, right?
Yeah. And the thing is that I always want people to understand when you're talking about ISA, really, you should be having a 5-year plan. You should be able to invest for 5 years plus with an ISA. When I see people that, oh yeah, I just want to put it for a couple of years, leave that in cash. We don't put it in an ISA. Leave that. You can't, especially with the fluctuations in the market right now. You don't want to put something in and then it drops for the next 2-3 years and then you're stuck. You can't touch it. Do you know what I mean? But you plan to use it in years or 18 months. So it's got to make sense to your time frame.
And again, it's about understanding it, right?
Exactly.
If you don't understand it, then just don't do it.
Don't do it. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so where can somebody find you for all your services that you offer? Because, bro, you know what it is. Like, I don't know that many people. I know a lot of financial advisors.
Yeah.
But I don't know many financial education people that actually sit you down and say to you that, you know what, this is how you build your credit score. This is what you need to do. To, you know. So where can somebody find you for them sort of things? Like
so I've got a website, emmanuelsuko.com.
Yeah.
So that's all the services are there and so forth. But I'd say Instagram is probably the main page that I'm on, the E-Man Effect.
Are you on Instagram? Do you like Instagram?
I love Instagram.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite out of all of them.
I think that's my favorite as well.
I like Instagram. I just know how it works. The algorithm, we understand one another. So I know what videos will pop on. I just don't like always doing them because not every day you want to be a comedian or you want to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but I know how Instagram works. I got a loyal following because that was my first main platform. So people will see I get a lot of engagement with my posts on Instagram because I've got a real following on Instagram because I've been on it a long time. So I like Instagram and it's free. So I always tell people, look, if you wanna, you can learn stuff. You can scroll down. There's so many lessons on there. You can learn for free from Instagram, and then we're starting to build up a little bit of YouTube.
I was gonna say, what's your next best platform?
Yeah, that's the next thing I'm trying to build up is YouTube. I've got a TikTok that we're gonna be trying to do a little something on TikTok as well.
Yeah, because that's booming as well, right?
Everyone should be on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people, if you're starting now and you haven't picked a platform, pick TikTok. TikTok the algorithm exposes you to more people than Instagram will. Instagram, I've seen with Instagram sends my stuff to people that it knows will like it, which is good.
Yeah.
But those people, once it knows who likes it, they tend to be the same people.
Yeah.
So you see, that's why you don't get the growth on Instagram like you would on TikTok. Will send your thing to anybody.
Everybody.
So people that will hate what you're gonna, they'll see it.
They'll see it.
But then people that will like it and so forth, and because of that, it allows you to go viral every now and again. You'll see on TikTok, you might have 50 videos that have like 10 views, and then one video have 1 million.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? You don't know which one it's going to be, so you just got to be consistent.
And it just goes viral, right?
Yeah, it just goes viral.
Yep. What's your biggest weaknesses, bro?
You know what? My biggest weakness...
Let's talk your weaknesses.
I always tell people my biggest weakness is that I'm a people pleaser.
Okay.
I like to please people. I like to make people happy. I don't like being disliked. I don't like saying no. I don't, and it's a problem. So I've had to now remove myself from so even this. I went to my PA, right? It wasn't me that organised this.
Yep.
Because my PA, I will say yes to everything. My PA will say no.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know
So
what I
you
mean?
got to protect the energy.
You've got to protect it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're not delivering. You're delivering half empty. You're not giving people what they deserve. You're not giving them the right stuff. So for me, I have to put barriers in the way. So between my PA for me and my wife, I make sure that they kind of take things away from me, because I
Yeah.
will just do everything, and then I won't see my kids. So I won't see my family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And there's no point me being a hero to the world, but being a villain in my house. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so how do you then you balance your work and life and family? Because you got a family, right?
Yeah, family, four
Have you
kids.
got kids?
4 kids.
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you balance all that?
Bro, I need to stop having kids.
Right now you're on tour, right?
Yeah, I need to stop having kids right now. That's what I need to stop doing.
It's a blessing from God, though.
It's a blessing, but at the same time, man, that needs to be a bit more. Do you know what I mean? A bit more responsible. Do you know what I mean? Tell people my pull-out game is too weak. Like when I'm supposed to be pulling out and pushing in, it's all a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, it's like I feel like.
Do you believe in work-life balance?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I believe that there has to be balance in everything in life. I think everything has to be balanced, but I don't think everything has to be balanced at the same time.
Yes.
I feel like at certain times, like now I'm on tour. There's no point me doing a book and then telling people, okay, yeah, I'm going to promote it 1 day a week just so I can see.
Because I'm a family man and need to be home.
Bruv, that does no good to nobody, because
Yeah.
by the time you've done that, somebody else has brought out a new book and nobody's talking about your thing no more.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
there has to come a time where my family know, okay, Daddy's done a book now. And so I'm out, I'm here, there, everywhere, doing what I got to do, promoting myself, being out there, and it's bringing opportunities, and that allows me to be able to spend time with my family and look after them and provide for them. But at the same time, when it calms down, I'm the one. I'll take my kids to school in the morning. I'll pick them up. I will help them with their homework. I will do all of that, but I can't do all of that at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
So when people say work-life balance, I get it, but for me, there are times where it's 100% one thing,
graft.
and just graft. Like you got to understand, like nobody is going to give it to you. It doesn't matter. Look, I've got this book now. I can't say because I've got a book and I've got a publisher, the publisher will do everything for me. No. I've got to do my job, and the publisher will do their job. And even if they're not doing their job, it's still my name on the book. So
Still your vision.
It's my vision. Yeah. So I've got to make sure things happen. So for me, it's really important, and it's vital that I push. So yes, I like to have balance. The way I now say I have more balance is that I cut things out that are not important.
Okay.
So I've been able to now say, like,
and that's come from maturity.
Maturity, like,
yeah, you're growing up. So
yeah, I don't need to go clubbing. I don't need to be in the rave. I don't, like, if someone's birthday and I've got to come, I'll come. But if people my age are doing a birthday in a club, they don't invite me. You're not going to see me. I will tell you I'll come. I'm not coming. If you're doing a wine bar or a venue where we can actually talk, then there's value there. Do you know what I mean? But going somewhere, I'm not a dancer at my
it's
age.
Because you value your time now.
My time is,
That's what it is.
Exactly. So for me, it's like you've got to value your time and just cut out things that are not. So don't ask me what's happening on Love Island. Me, I could never tell you what's. It's not for me. Do you know what I mean? Because I know how precious my time is. So I have to be very particular with it, and that's where I get the balance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. I just want to touch a little bit on credit cards.
Yes.
Now, from my knowledge, just from what I hear from people, like it's a really good way to boost your credit score.
Yeah.
Is that right? And do you want to share a little bit and any tips on that?
Yeah, so credit cards are good for two things. So people always talk at the credit score one. So yeah, credit score, what happens is that people think, oh, if I don't use credit, I'll have a good credit score. But you're almost just as bad as people that have used credit and used it badly.
Right.
Because how do I know how good you're going to be with credit if you never had it? So I'm still going to be nervous. So I'm still going to mark you as being bad until you show me that you're good.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
So a credit card is an easy way for you to show financial institutions that you're good with money. So what you do with a credit card is that you buy things that you would normally pay for cash, like your travel, food, these types of things you normally pay cash that you got the cash for. Do it on your credit card, and then you pay off the full balance each month. Do that, and you'll see after 6 months, all of a sudden you might start at £500 credit card. All of a sudden it's gone to 2,000. Keep doing it, it'll go to 5,000, 10,000, and so forth. And that's how it will go up over time. As long as you make sure you pay the full balance back and you keep within your limit and so forth, it'll be good. Now, the other part about credit cards is the points, and that's what people don't talk about. So if I use my debit card to buy something, it's cash fair enough. I'm keeping balance of my money, but it hasn't earned me anything. I haven't been rewarded. So, for example, me, I have an American Express BA card. Every time I spend on that, things that I normally spend cash, put on that, they give me points so that I can travel, because I want to travel with my wife. Because actually, I'm doing all this graft, I'm working, I'm traveling all these other places. I want to take my wife somewhere nice on a holiday, or take my family somewhere nice on a holiday. If I can get a discount to do that, now my money's made me money. It's saving me money. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, credit cards are great for your credit score, but it's also about, once you've mastered managing your money, it's also a great way to build up points for things that you like and rewards for things that you like.
Okay, so them points, do they help towards your credit score as well?
So the points don't help towards your credit score. That's a separate benefit.
Okay.
So just using your credit card properly, that will help. That will be reported. So your credit company will report each month. Yep, you used it and you paid it off. Here's a tick. Use it, paid it. And so any other institutions can see that you're doing that. And so because of that, that will improve your credit score. The points is the way for them to entice you to use their credit card rather than somebody else's credit card.
Got it.
So if you know that you shop in Marks and Spencer's a lot, you get the Marks and Spencer's card, and then you build up points to go and spend in Marks and Spencer's. If you know, like me, travel. If it's food, whatever it may be, you can get a card for it and build up points. And that's almost a way for them to entice you to use their credit card rather than another one.
Interesting. Mindset.
Yeah.
How important is mindset, and do people underestimate it?
Definitely. Mindset is everything. I'm going to say it again because people don't listen. Mindset is everything.
Yes.
I tell people, so Mike Tyson, yeah, he earned $400 million boxing and went bankrupt. Some of us, if we earned 1 million, we'd slap our mum. No one could even talk to us. Like, how dare you? Like, you'd tell your mum, phone your secretary to, do you know what I mean? You've lost your mind over 1 million. This guy had 400 million. But because he didn't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter about how much money you make. If you're poor in mind, you make poor decisions. Do you understand? So your mindset has to be strong. If you don't understand like money mindset, like what we said the chapter in the book, you don't understand value. What happens is money comes and money goes. And so for me, so much people are chasing money, but actually, number one, you've got to fix your mindset. Because how can you say, if you've got a poverty mindset, and if you win the lottery, what happens to a lot of people that win the lottery? They go back broke.
I always use that one, yeah.
They will go back broke. Why? Because they weren't ready for it. They weren't ready.
They hadn't become, right?
Bro, you get it. Like, you get it. Do you know what I mean? There's a point where you have to already be ready. So if I win the lottery, the first thing I'm doing is not buying stuff. The first thing I'm doing is going to work on my money mindset. Because I've never had this type of money before. Everyone talks, if I had this, I would. Bro, have it first. You've never had it. You're talking about if I had 10 million, I would. Bro, you haven't even had 10,000. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, make your first 10K.
Make your first 10K and then tell me what you would do with 10 mil. Do you know what I mean? And so it's about your mindset. It's so important. And then after that, it's about value. So I always tell people, if you want to really understand money mindset, it's about understanding like maturity, delay gratification, understand, you know, that your needs versus your wants and all of those. Impulse control. That's the big thing. Understand that just because you can buy something doesn't mean you can afford it. Understand that even if you buy it, it doesn't make you more valuable. Do you understand? So what we are doing a lot of the time is we are buying things telling us that if I own that jacket, I'm more expensive. I'm more valuable. Listen, you are already valuable. You are unique. Yeah. Anything unique is rare, and anything rare is of high value. And you are the only version of yourself. Even twins are individual. Even though they look the same, they have an individual tag. So therefore, because they're individual, you are rare. So if you are rare, you are already valuable. That means that the jacket that you buy for £1,000 or £2,000 doesn't make you more valuable. You make it valuable because you own it. And when you start to walk in that, all of a sudden you understand, I don't need a £2,000 jacket. It's all right if I can afford it and I can buy it, but I don't need it. Do you understand? A lot of the time we are buying things thinking that we need it, when the reality is that we want it. And when you understand the difference between what you need and you want, you make better decisions.
Love it, 100%. Yeah, I've got 2 more questions.
No, I'm ready, brother. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm here.
What's your relationship like with health and well-being? Because I also feel like that's connected to mindset.
Yeah, I agree.
Go on.
Yeah, I think my relationship is toxic when it comes to like my weight fluctuates up and down all the time.
Yeah.
There are times that I'm really on it and I'll lose 3-4 stone.
Yeah.
And then there's times when I'm just like I'm just not thinking about anything else and eating out and and then I put weight back on.
Yeah.
But I've been doing a lot of reading. And again, it's all about reading. And I'm preparing myself because I know I'm gonna be a millionaire. I don't say that to boast or but I just know where my trajectory is taking me. If I do the right things, I know that I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah.
So I have to look at what do millionaires do. And when you look at millionaires, they're not necessarily not necessarily six-pack or whatever.
No.
But they take care of their health, they take care of their teeth, and they take care of their skin and they take care of their family. And so for me, I've been on this journey of, okay, cool. I did Invisalign to close the gap in my teeth. I'm working with a dermatologist to look after my skin. Do you know what I mean? Can make sure
Facials,
I've got
regular.
skincare
Every
routine
6 weeks.
and make sure I'm doing it. Yeah, I gotta go in regularly,
Nice.
like do that. And then I've got like a personal trainer that's working with me to lose weight and to be more healthy. Do you know what I mean? So that's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've done a lot of fads where I've done diets and lost but actually I don't want a diet. I want it to be a lifestyle. So I've got someone working with me to look at my life, how I live and how I can live it healthier. Now, that may mean that I may never get to six-pack, but I need to be healthier.
I think that should be the aim.
Yeah.
Six-pack shouldn't be the aim. It's about getting healthy.
Yeah.
Because what happens is once you get the six-pack and then you back down again.
Exactly.
But if you just say, I just want to be healthy.
Yeah, that's it. And that's
you're in the right place then.
And then I feel like, also you got to know what your motivates you, because I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
So I always talk about, I want to be here for my kids and so forth. But what does that actually mean? I feel like now that I'm sitting down with someone, I'm actually having that. And that's me investing. You have to pay money, but I'm willing to pay money for my health. I'm willing to. There's no point me making this money and then going ham and then get to 50 and I'm gone. And then my kids are graduating uni like, I wish my dad was here.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, I've got to make sure that, I'm not saying I'm going to live to 100, but I've got to make sure I get to, at least a strong 70 or something. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And so for me, I've got to put in I know that I can't take advantage of my body, because my body is what's allowing me to do everything. And we've all had it. When you stud your toe or you hurt, I've had a paper cut on my finger and you try and write and you're like, oh, I can't. Just little parts of your body, you just take it for granted. A little thing happens. So, if you have a stroke, if you have a heart attack or cancer or what, it can change your whole life.
Definitely.
And a lot of this stuff is brought on by the things we eat and the lifestyle that we have. And so,
100%.
for me, I've just really focused on like, okay, you're on a way to being a millionaire. How do millionaires work? And I tell people the same. If you wanna get somewhere, look at the people that have gone before you, the people that are doing well, and just copy. You don't have to. I'll give a great example. Twitter came out and said, look, you can get a blue tick, yeah? And then everyone was laughing at them,
Genius, right?
And then Instagram, what do? Guess what? You can buy a blue tick.
Yeah.
No, if multi-billion-pound companies are copying each other, I don't see why us at our level feel like we have to have a unique idea every single day. Like, you can copy.
Yeah, 100%. Totally. I don't understand why, and again, people compare themselves to each other when really you live in your own kingdom.
Exactly.
You can do, it's no competition, is it?
No, not at all.
And everyone's unique to them, 100%. Do you plan on living in UK, or have you got an exit? I like it. You said quick before I even finished the question, bro.
No way. No way. This UK is not. This UK is too tough,
so
man.
You're going, yeah?
I'm gone. The weather ain't great. The tax is crazy. Like, it's just not. It's just. I've built all my plan is to build a base, build an income, build security for my family, so that my kids know they can go and get their own thing, but they always know if the worst comes to the worst, I've always got a room in mum and dad's house. I've always got somewhere I can go. Do you know what I mean? Because it's important. It's always important to make sure that. But for me, bro, I want to live in Africa. I want to live in the Middle East. I want to live in the Caribbean. So for me, I want to just be having property in all of those places
and travel,
and just travel around, and then be giving talks. When I give my talks in America, my base will be in the Caribbean, and I'll just go to wherever I am in America, and just that's my plan. Like, my plan is to have a property in the Caribbean, a property in the Middle East, and a property in Africa, and then I can then move around. And if I need to come and do something in London or in the UK, I can just come as a visitor, stay in a hotel and just do whatever, or come and, if I want to stay in the house that I got with the kids, I can do that. But for me, I just don't see the UK as a place that I can spend the rest of my life with.
I'm bringing kids up here and you can't see it.
Now, the kids can stay. The kids can stay and get their education, but even I expect them to take whatever they want and go wherever they... I want them to understand they can be wherever they want in the world. I don't want us to... I think sometimes, like, Londoners, like, we're in Manchester now. I love Manchester. I've come around here. I love Manchester. I love Birmingham. You know, much Londoners, you just stay in South East, or you just stay in your little bubble, your little part. You go into Central and then you come back. It's like... There's a whole world out there. Why am I stuck in the UK like it's the only place on earth? Like, yes, it has its pros, but for me, there's a whole world and cultures to learn. Bro, one thing I love to do is learn cultures. That's how people say, how have you got here? I spend a lot of time with Asian, mainly Indian friends and Jewish friends. And being around them, learning their culture, plus the culture that my parents gave me, helped me develop to get where I am. That's one of the biggest things I say when I speak to young people. I'm like, are you hanging with people that don't look like you or don't come from your background? If you're not, you're missing out, because there's so much to learn, do's and don'ts. But there's so much to learn, and it's like, actually sometimes we just stay in our bubble and then wonder why we only reach so far. Because number one, your network is only so far, but number two, your mindset is only so far. When you start to hang with other people and realize what you want to do, because they haven't had that them been told, oh, you can't do that, or you don't belong there. They haven't had that lesson. No one ever told them they can't do anything. They can do whatever they like. When you start to surround yourself with those type of people, you see the world different. So I always encourage, go and spend time with people from other cultures, put yourself out of your comfort zone, and trust me, it will shape you and develop you.
Definitely, 100%. And I think that's the best way to create others' awareness as well.
Great. You mentioned, bro, you said it. I always tell people, like, I know that if I got a plumber come in, and I can see that he's got an English name, I make sure that when they come, the house is spick and span, looking clean. I've got the plugins, because I don't know how much interaction they have with black people. I might be the only... So I represent my community. So sometimes you need to go to other communities and let them know that what they see on the TV, there's more to us than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so you now allow them to break down maybe some prejudice or some ideas that they think they have, and be like, no, but you know what? I like E-Man. So if E-Man's like that, then I can't say everyone's like that. Do you know what I mean? And actually, that helps the world be a better place.
Yeah. And you know what? You know the question about relationship with health and well-being, I was asking you before, because I do elite mindset coaching as well.
Okay.
And if you need any help with macros,
yes, please,
and that sort of thing, where just to give you a little bit basic knowledge,
please,
I'll send it over to you.
No, please, let's do that.
All I need from you is your height, your weight, and just what foods you like and what you don't like.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, so just message me and I'll do that for you.
No, thank you.
So this book here, my brother, obviously I believe is available on Amazon.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon. Yeah.
Where else?
Yeah, WH Smith, all the
big supermarkets,
Waterstones, all the big superstores, all the bookstores, anywhere like that. Yeah, it's also on audio. So
is it available on audio as well?
Yeah, Audible. You can get on Audible. So I voiced it myself. So yeah, it's my voice talking to you. So yeah. So
how long did it take you to voice that?
3 days.
So you were just sat there
just going
again,
through
focused, right? Committed. I need to do this. Get it out. Yes.
So I just done it, just read through the whole thing, recorded it. Obviously, you make mistakes, so you go back. But yeah, just sat there, went through it, and just did it. Because, like you said, I understand that when I finished school, I felt like I wasn't smart.
Yeah.
But I realized that when I got to Barclays and I had to do my exams, I got a tutor, and the tutor made me realize my learning style. And actually, until you understand how you take in information, the school system can be failing you, because it makes you feel like you don't understand or you're not clever. But that's because the way they teach you is just one way, and it works for a certain group of people. And you might not fall into that certain group, so then you're considered to be not smart. But the reality is once you learn how you learn, once you understand how you learn and how you process,
learn that though? Tutor?
I had a tutor sit down with me and go, no, you don't do that. Actually, the way I learn, I need to listen. So what I do is I read it out, I record it, I listen to myself, I then take notes of what I'm saying, high level, and then I go back through the notes. And the way my mind works is stories. So what I have to do is create stories to understand the lessons that's being learnt. So, I have to create a story of it so I can explain it to myself. And once I've done that, I get the point that's going across.
Yeah.
So that's why when I did this book, each chapter has a story. So that I don't just give you the information, I then give you a story explaining the information I just gave you.
And
so
that's
you
how
understand
people learn, don't they?
And that's how people learn.
Yeah. Bro, any last messages in the camera to people? Any advice to young guns or anything?
You know what? My only advice is I would just say, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, Be comfortable, getting outside of your comfort zone, meeting people, learning, develop. Understand that your biggest investment you should make is in you. The biggest investment you should make is in you. So don't hide away. Invest in yourself, whether that be through courses, whether that be through education, whether that be through just learning stuff online. Like, and also don't be afraid to follow somebody new. If somebody's adding value to you, if someone's giving you information, just follow them. Forget if it means that you're gonna follow more people than follow you. Who cares? Like, get the information you need to change your life. All right.
Finally, I just want to say, guys, look, we all struggle with money. Let's just be realistic. And you know what? It's got everything in here, from money mindset to budgeting, how to spend your money. Go and support Emmanuel and go and get his book. My bro, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.